My name is Elizabeth Rose, and my pronouns are she, her. I was born in 1968, so I'm 53, and I have been a full-time stay-at-home homemaker and parent for probably 22 or 23 years. It's a long time, and I have learned to really focus on having a private life for a very, very long time. In 2017, I made the decision to go back to graduate school and get a master's in liberal studies, and now I'm just finishing my doctorate in liberal studies with the idea that I will turn a writing hobby into a writing career, and that will hopefully, if I'm successful, put me back in the public realm where I will do things that are more interesting than just decorate my house and have really good parties. I hope that in 20 years there will be a shattering of the walls around gender identity and gender roles in society. That's the most important challenge, I think, facing our society. I think we've come a long way. I think that third-wave feminism and the inclusion of gender spectrum individuals in every level of society is really leading the way to put the person first rather than roles or societal taxonomies on people. I'd like to see more attention given to private lives and more respect given to people having active private lives. Because I've been privileged to have one of those for my entire adult life, I know how fulfilling it is to live your life to benefit yourself and the people that you care about. And I would like to see the role of families and friends be elevated as much as careers, and also personal creative endeavors, I think, need to have a bigger role in our societal discourse. I hope the world is much greener, and I hope that the climate is stabilized. I think that's the biggest crisis facing our world. I hope that wars are minimized. I'd like to say eradicated, but I know that that's not likely. But I'd like to see wars relegated to small border skirmishes. I'd like to see safe societies at every level of society, rural, urban, developing, and agrarian societies all be places where people can live in safety. I'm afraid of backlash. I think we're seeing it now. I think that there are people who are very, very threatened by the erosion of artificial categories around race in particular, which is really just not even a real thing. Gender, which is arguably real, but also societal. And I think that as racial and cultural equity becomes more the norm, the people who were banking on old established patterns that denied the human rights of some people and elevated the social position of other people who relied on those systems are seeing that stripped away, and they don't like it, and they still have power. And I'm very, very worried that we're going to take a 100-year step backwards. Star Trek. I think in 20 years, the communication that brings people together is so important. I think technological advances around language equality and letting people who don't speak the same language communicate have so much potential to change and improve the world. I'd like to see more sustainable food raising and less agriculture for profit, because there is an ecological cost to any form of agriculture, and I'd like to see it balanced to meet the needs of people, not the greed of shareholders. I'd like to see open or fluid borders everywhere in the world, because I think freedom of movement and migration is essential to human nature, and I think when people are prevented from freely associating with whoever they want to, it's just a tragedy on a scale that we don't usually acknowledge, and I'd like to see more freedom of movement in this world.